Hi book friends, I'm Erin and this is Erin Go Read. This is the snack book tag. This is an original tag created by Rosica at the Midnight Reader. I saw MJ at This Reading Life do her video of it. I thought it was really fun, and so I decided to tag myself. This is a series of prompts relating books to snacks. Prompt number 1, sweet, the chocolate chip cookie of books. Pick a book that is warm-hearted, uplifting, and makes you less cynical about the world. And for that book, I choose How Not to Die Alone by Richard Roeper. This book came out in May of 2019, and it's just kind of a warm hug of a book. So Andrew, our main character here, is he's a bit of a dope. He's like a really sweet guy. He has this council job where when someone dies and they don't have an immediate next of kin, they're like found dead in their home, they go in and clean out the house, they sell anything that's valuable and you put that money towards giving this person a funeral, and they try to do what they can to find the next of kin. So that's the job he has, but he kind of accidentally lies and gets himself, he tells this kind of silly lie and then ends up kind of living this like false life based on this lie, and he ends up establishing this really great friendship with a coworker named Peggy, and it's just kind of about their friendship, their lives, and the things that they're going through, and it was just very sweet. The book felt like a warm hug. Prompt number 2, salty, inherently craveable. Pick a book or series that you couldn't stop reading or reaching for. If you've seen the tattoo on my arm, you may know that my favorite series of all time is Harry Potter. This series is near and dear to my heart. I didn't start reading it until after the 4th movie came out. I read through the first four books very quickly, just super excited to get all of like the extra info that we didn't get from the movies. And then I blazed through books 5 and 6 because it was all brand new. And then I had to wait for book 7. And then it was actually I was just starting the epilogue of book 7, like 2 o'clock in the morning. My late husband called from Iraq, and I was so excited about it, and he was so excited about it. I sent him his copy of book 7 the next day on Monday, and then Tuesday is when he got hit by the roadside bomb. So it's, and then after he was injured, he survived that. He survived for 13 more years, and then we read the series. I read the series to him probably 4 times out loud, and you know, before he was injured too, we would do Harry Potter trivia, we played Harry Potter video games. It was just a big part of our lives. We made, you know, watching the Harry Potter movies or playing Harry Potter games into drinking games, because we were like 22, 23 at the time, so that's what you do. So yeah, it's just very near and dear to my heart, and you know, so much so I put it permanently on my skin. Prompt number 3 is cheesy. Like Cheeto dust, you can't escape the cheese. Pick a book that you love because or in spite of its cheesiness. And the first book I thought of this absolutely was Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is a beautiful edition. What is this? The Puffin in Blood? Is that what that said? Oh, Puffin in Bloom. Eyes. Puffin in Bloom series. And this is a bind up. This is Little Women and Wives and Daughters, which I believe is how it's usually like bound in the United States. But this is the story of what's the family's name? The Marches. This is a story of the March family, 4 girls, their mom, their dad is away at this, during the Civil War. And it's just the story of their family. It's very much like, makes me think of Christmas time. And especially if you continue on in the series, it gets very saccharine. Little Women and Wives and Daughters is not quite so saccharine, but it is very, very sweet, very cheesy. If there was like an overly sweet prompt, this would fit for the overly sweet prompt, but the saccharine-ness of it makes it cheesy, if that makes sense. Prompt number 4 is deep fried. You bit too soon into the hot batter and got burned. Pick a book that hurt to read. I don't have the copy of this anymore, but I'm gonna go with Sea People by Lisa C. This is about this really cool community of women in Korea who dove for, is it abalone, I think? And so there's like this really cool kind of historical fiction aspect of just like these women. And it was only the women did this. The men, it was kind of a maternalistic society. That was super cool. But then you have the Japanese, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Colonization of Korea, and Some just brutal scenes, and it's like, it's one of those books where like the hits just keep on coming. And there was this particular scene where some Japanese soldiers are just brutalizing some of these women, and it's, sorry, a hair falling. Okay. These Japanese soldiers are just brutalizing these women, sexual assault, physical assault, and it was like, it was so hard to read. And then it's an amazing book though, and it's one of those like, she's so effective, she's such an effective storyteller that it has such a profound effect on you as a reader. So you don't want these characters that you adore to have to endure these things, so you don't want to read it. So it was an interesting reading experience, but I figured I kind of wish I didn't get rid of it, because it was really such a good book, but I didn't think it would be ever one that I would return to. So I got rid of it. Prompt 5, ice cold. Sometimes the snack you want can come only from the deep freezer. Pick a book that transports you to a cold place. And instantly thought of The Snow Child by A.O.N. Ivy, a couple who, I can't remember if they had tried to get pregnant or they couldn't, or they had a miscarriage or something like that. The wife in particular had a lot of pain related to having a child, and they left wherever it was they were from in the lower 48, move up to Alaska, and just kind of live off the land, live in this really isolated place. And because she doesn't want to have to be around like her nieces and nephews or whatever, and see other people being happy with their children. And then this child shows up, and is there magic involved? Is there something like supernatural happening? Is this a real child? And we just get to experience the snow child with this couple. Sour. Some things are too sour to keep a straight face. Pick a book that made you make faces while you were reading it. And that is what book I just finished, Misery by Stephen King. There are some rough scenes in here, and just the torture that our main character, Paul, has to endure by his tormentor, Annie Wilkes, is, you can't keep a straight face. Prompt number 7 is a healthy snack. You picked this up because it was good for you. Pick a book that you read to improve yourself in some way, and that will be James Clear's Atomic Habits. This has kind of become very quickly kind of the seminal book of habit formation, habit change. If you have any desire to improve yourself as a human, I suggest that you start with your habits, because your habits are literally the things that you do every day. Dogs are making noises, and this is the place to start. Finally, prompt number 8 is juicy. Like an orange or watermelon, some snacks have plenty of pieces to share. Pick a book that is profoundly shareable. And I'm going to go with The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, which again, I don't have a copy of. I do have a copy of it. I think I lent it to my sister though, and I don't have it back yet. And now it's time to tag some fellow booktubers. So I'm going to tag Gina at Gina Stanier. And finally, it's time to tag some other booktubers. So I'm going to tag Gina Stanier at Gina Stanier, Danielle at Danielle's Books, Zach at Zach's Books, and Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading. Thank you for watching. See you around the tubes.